The shoot-'em-up was alive and well both in the arcades and on home consoles. And in order to keep the Mega Drive's library swimming in this popular genre, Sega licensed the right to port Super Real Darwin, an arcade shooter originally released by Data East in 1987. As you might guess from the name, the gimmick in Darwin 4081 involves evolution. Rather than standard shooter-style power-ups, the player collects the DNA of various enemies. Depending on the type of DNA, the ship itself and its weapons evolve into various forms. Eventually, most of these evolutions wear off. The evolutions also act as a sort of shield, allowing the player's ship to take an extra hit before exploding. Sadly, the system sounds way more interesting than it really is. Outside of that, Darwin 4081 is a pretty bog-standard shooter. It doesn't have particularly good graphics or intense action. In fact, it's not even all that difficult, though this probably has more to do with the generous life and continue settings in the options screen. Really, you kind of have to wonder why Sega would choose to port this game at all, considering it was 3 years old and already had a sequel in the arcade at the time. And by the way, that's the explanation behind the title. While this is a direct port of Super Real Darwin, the game is called Darwin 4081 because it was technically the 4th evolution-based Data East shooter released. Darwin 4078, Super Real Darwin, which took place in 4079, and Act Fancer, which takes place in 4080. Hence, Darwin 4081.
Your secrets, if you really look at yourself, you would be speechless. What happened to being doctors and teachers? What happened to being your brother's keeper? Nowadays kids more worried